Am I the asshole for not being Irish? I have Irish great-great-grandparents. I live in England, as has all of my relatives since 1910. I have recently started to have an American live with me, and she introduces herself to people as Irish. Now, I know Americans do this weird thing where they believe they are where their ancestors came from. We Europeans find this hilarious, but what y'all gonna do? Recently, I have been researching my family history and she got involved. She is now saying that I should go around saying I am Irish. Otherwise it is disrespectful to my ancestors. The problem is I am not Irish. I am English. I don't know Irish culture. I have never been to Ireland. I am English. I would argue she isn't Irish either since she has never been to Ireland nor knows Irish culture, but still, she can introduce herself however she wants. She is getting incredibly upset that I am refusing to say I am Irish, and she has even started to introduce me as her Irish friend. I told her to stop, and she got annoyed. I mean, where do you draw the line on ancestors anyway? Should I introduce myself as African before all my ancestors started out in Africa? No. So, am I the asshole for not saying I am Irish? Edit. Official judgment equals not the asshole. As an Irish person I can safely say you are right. She's not Irish nor are you. Americans give themselves a bad name claiming to be Irish due to a vague ancestry. Not the asshole. She is. And she's about as Irish as Queen Elizabeth. She can fuck off with her bullshit, frankly. Not the asshole. Here in Ireland we'd make fun of her and call her a plastic Paddy, as in, fake Irish. She's not even Irish herself, so the idea she can take over and decide who is and isn't Irish is laughable. Not the asshole, and yes, to us Europeans, it's a very weird thing lol. When you are that far removed from, insert ancestry, have spent generations raised in England, or America, Canada, whatever, I don't understand why the need to preface your nationality with that ancestry. Maybe some US people can explain it, genuinely curious and looking to understand? Not the asshole. This is a weird thing Americans do. They call themselves Irish when no one in their family has been in Ireland for generations, and honestly it pisses Irish people off. Forcing that view on someone else is beyond ridiculous. Set a firm boundary with her that you won't go places with her if she keeps doing it. If she does it anyway, correct her straight away to the person she introduced you to. Americans tend to forget not everywhere in Europe is the same if she does it again. Should get her to stop. Not the asshole. I think this is about context. It is annoying when Americans do this, but it's at least consistent. They all understand what it means. In Europe if you say you're Irish then it means you are literally from Ireland. In a way this is a cultural or language difference between us and the US. She's refusing to adapt to the fact that things are done differently here, and that's just obnoxious. Not the asshole source. I'm an Irish person born, raised and living in Ireland. Tell your roommate even Irish people aren't on her side and that she's American, not Irish. Not the asshole, you're English. I never got why a lot of Americans do that, especially combined with patriotism. I'm Irish. And I'm from the greatest country in the world, the US of A. Am I the asshole for refusing to clean the bed and causing my husband to sleep on the floor? Edit. Repost cause I accidentally deleted the first one and the issue still stands. My F-34 husband M32 has a medical condition, heart problems, and we sleep separately. He sleeps in the bedroom while I am on the couch. He's become partially reliant on me to care for him, whether it be cleaning, cooking for him, supervising his medication intake and managing side effects. He's on a number of medications and one of them causes excessive urination. It is essentially to treat the swelling of his feet and abdomen. As a result he urines a lot, which is an issue cause he just keeps wetting the bed. Previously, he was catheterized so I didn't worry about the bedwetting issue. But he went against the doctor's recommendation and had the catheter taken out, and the problem of him wetting the bed started. As a reasonable alternative to taking the catheter out, adult diapers had been recommended, but he was 100% against it. We had arguments about it cause it wasn't like he had an allergy preventing him from using diapers. He promised he'd be careful, but every time he'd end up wetting the bed and expecting me to clean it. Clean everything, the sheets, the mattress, the floor even. So far I've cleaned the bed for over 40 plus times middle of the night and he still said no whenever I urge him to just wear diapers. It all came to head nights ago. He woke me up shouting from the bedroom that he wet the bed again and needed me to get up and clean it right then. I'm talking 2 a.m. I expected that and was maddened, so I ignored him and remained sleeping. He kept shouting, demanding I come clean up, then started calling my phone, but I turned it off. I got up at 6, found him sleeping on the floor on a spare mattress and the bed was a mess. He woke up and blew up at me, calling me nasty and heartless for not rushing to help and clean up the bed for him after he wetted it. I stated that it was his fault for refusing to wear diapers after willingly removing the catheter. He yelled, saying the catheter thing caused him suffering, then said he'd never wear diapers cause of his hurt ego and manhood. Also said I had a job and I neglected it and acted petty by punishing him this way and causing him to sleep on the floor. I said I was done doing unnecessary chore in the middle of night almost every night when he could just use diapers. He was astonished by what I said and called me a monster for enjoying his suffering like that, then got Sil to come give me a stern talk about my attitude towards her brother cause her brother is helpless. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. Adult diapers hurt his ego, but peeing all over the bed 40 times and waking his wife to clean it up doesn't? Girl, you're sleeping on the couch and cleaning up his pee. You're basically an unpaid night nurse. Make some clear boundaries to make life easier for yourself. Incontinence undergarments at night, or he figures out how to clean it himself. Not the asshole. You do everything for him and he doesn't even try to make it easy for you. The catheter was taken out against advise. He doesn't use adult diapers against advise. He is making it all hard for you. Let's hope he will learn from this and starts to use diapers or the catheter in again. Sounds like a holiday at his sister's is in order. Without you. See if she still feels the same about his helplessness when she's mopping up after him. Not the asshole. Diapers hurts his manhood, but peeing the bed like a toddler doesn't. Person shrugging, you are his wife, not his home health nurse. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, leave him. Tell him to hire a nurse. Sick or not, he doesn't give a fuck about you. You are his live-in slave. Not the asshole. And also, not a hostage. If he can get out a spare mattress, he can clean up his own mess. And, frankly, it sounds like he needs a taste of cleaning up after himself. Diapers may be humiliating. But, the real problem here is a diuretic that's too strong. I find it difficult to believe that his doctor hasn't gotten involved in addressing this situation. What time of day is he taking this diuretic? Is he avoiding liquids a few hours before bed? Has he actually discussed the bedwetting with his physician? Has anyone recommended chucks? Marriage is for better or for worse, but getting up in the middle of the night to clean up a mess like that every night is not a long-term strategy. Is he capable of putting on and changing his own diaper? If it's a pride thing, that seems to me much less an issue than having to call attention to an accident. Not the asshole. I'm confused on one point though. Why does he have to wet the bed? I understand the medicine flushes out water and makes him urinate more, but he doesn't know he needs to go. He can't walk? What does he do during the day? Also, why can't he clean his own bed? Am I the asshole for laughing in my husband's face? So I, 32, have been married to my husband M, 34, for 6 years. Before we got married, he had me sign a prenup stating that our financials would always be separate and the only thing we would share was an expense account to pay for household-related fees. The reason for this was because he was making pretty good money and I was in graduate school, so my financial situation was pretty bad, but I signed nonetheless because I understood he wanted to protect himself. Anyway, fast forward to now. I've been out of school for about 4 years and I make more than 3 times as much as he does. I never asked how much he makes and he's never asked me either. Anyway, 2 weeks ago I told him that I was thinking about buying a new car as one I had was really old since I had had it since my undergraduate days. He wasn't really interested and just told me to get whatever I liked. So a week ago I decided to make the plunge and get an Audi. I was pretty excited as I had always wanted one. At the time my husband was on a business trip. He got back yesterday. And I showed him my car. He was really happy for me. However, later he asked me what my monthly payments were as the Audi was pretty new. At this point I told him that I had made the purchase in cash and that I had no monthly payments. He was taken back and asked with what money, and I answered that I made more than enough money to be able to afford it. He didn't talk after that and I thought that was that. However, after a few hours he came back to me and told that he thinks we should void the prenup. This is where I might be the asshole. I laughed in his face and asked him why I would agree to that, and his answer was that we're married and should share our financials. So I told him that we've been married for 6 years and yet we've never shared financials, and I was fine with what we were doing, and his sudden change of heart was very suspicious. He called me a bunch of names and stormed out and didn't come home, and then I guess he told his family about our fight and they called to berate me and say how he supported me while I was in school. He didn't, and now I'm wondering if I was the asshole. Edit. I knew his salary when we got together, however he's since gotten promoted, and at first when I used to ask he would make comments that it was rude of me to ask how much he made, so I stopped. He's never really been interested in my career or job, and we don't bring our work home. The reason I make 3x what he makes, I made the assumption from what I knew his salary had been, is because I work as a CRNA and he works as a software engineer. Edit 2. I didn't expect so many comments. Thanks everyone for sharing your opinions. This post has really made me question everything in my life. I think I'm going to take a leave of absence from my work to sort out my life. My husband was only my second relationship, and I guess I was too caught up in school, work and debt to really see that my marriage was a sham. I'm not blameless, which is hard to swallow. So I am going to have conversation with my husband and see where we go from here, if anywhere. Last edit. Since it's been a point of contention, I'm gonna clear up a few things. I make $175 an hour and work between 40 to 48 hours a week. From what I know he made about $90K when we got together. I'm sure it's higher now. He also works less hours. We live in a state that is not expensive, so my monthly contribution is about $1,1200 a month. He had some property in Ney, so he wanted to protect that, and I had debt from school. He did too, but mine was bigger. Not the asshole. Not gonna lie, you two don't sound like partners. You sound like you're against each other in life. Take this change of heart as the red flag that it is and consider how you want to proceed. So he wanted the prenup initially to protect his money because you didn't have much, and now you have more money. He wants to void the prenup so he can have more of your money? No wonder you laughed in his face. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. I would have laughed too. But I find it very strange you both have no knowledge of the other's finances. He wanted the prenup and he got it. Don't back down. Not the asshole. Interesting how things change once he figures out that you made more money than him. I think your hubby just met karma. Serves him right. Don't let anyone guilt you. I would suggest some marriage counseling because I'm not sure your marriage can survive his ego. Not the asshole. Prenup is prenup. No point in changing the rules after the fact, especially if the rules might change to your detriment. Of course you can redo the prenup. If both of you bring all assets to the table, and negotiate a deal fair to both parties. But I suspect that wouldn't be the case. Not the asshole. I would have laughed too. Now that it is no longer to his benefit, of course, he wants to void the prenup. Haven't you figured out that what is his and he considers what is yours is his? As long as his financials were protected, the prenup was fine. Now that he sees you as a cash cow, he wants to void the prenup. You have every right to be suspicious because, reread what I wrote. By the way, it is none of his family's business. It always astounds me how the family gets involved when it is not their fight. And obviously, they don't have the full story. He did not support you while you were in school. It was nice while it lasted, but, now that you are making so much more money, this marriage is over. There has to be more to this story. After 6 years of marriage, neither of you has any idea of the other's financial situation? Both seem very well off, so maybe money is never a concern, but what happens if you or he lost your jobs and couldn't afford the lifestyle you've grown accustomed to? Sounds like a business relationship more than a marriage. 100% not the asshole. Now that he knows you make enough money to pay cash for an Audi, he wants in on that action. No. Don't do it. And don't let his family do it. He was perfectly happy with the financial situation prior to this. Suddenly he's not, and he's calling you names, walking out on you, and getting his family involved? All because he found out you can buy a car with cash? Nope. What happened to his love? Sue. Am I the asshole for letting my daughter shop in the boys' clothing section? I have 2 teenage daughters with my wife. My one daughter, Lily, is very much a tomboy and loves to wear sweatshirts and gym pants. My other daughter, Kayla, is more into makeup and wears skirts and dresses. Lily loves to play sports, she is on the basketball team at school. My wife prefers taking Kayla out to shop as they have the same clothing taste. Lily's birthday is approaching quickly and I took her out for a shopping spree where she can pick out whatever she wants. She told me that she didn't like any of the clothing in the women's section and I asked if she wanted to check the boys instead. We found a few shorts, t-shirts, sweatshirts, and a nice winter jacket. She wanted to show her mom and sister what she bought. The moment my wife laid eyes on all the clothing, she shakes her head and says, "No, your dad should know better. I will take you out and pick out new clothes." My daughter starts crying and runs to her room. My wife is upset with me for not talking with her first about the clothing. Am I the asshole for letting my daughter shop in the boys' clothing section? Not the asshole. Your wife is an asshole. Your daughter should be encouraged to wear whatever she's comfortable in. All she's going to do is create a situation where her daughter wants nothing to do with her in the future. Not the asshole. A teenager is old enough to make clothing decisions. You allowed her to make the decision. While stores have boys and girls sections because that is what we are accustomed to, clothing is not specific to the gender. It may fit one body style better than the other, but there is nothing wrong with shopping in either section no matter the gender. Not the asshole. You and your wife need to have a talk. There are many reasons why a girl wants things from the boys section: the cut of shirts, the length of shorts, no unnecessary additions of bows, lace, God knows what else, etc. She may be a tomboy, i.e. cis female who would like to present, at least at times, in a more traditionally masculine way, whether hetero or homosexual. She may be shy about her changing figure. She may be questioning gender. I'm guessing your wife subscribes to a strict gender binary and gender norms. She needs to understand that these may just be clothes, but even if it's not and your daughter is considering, exploring gender, and possibly sexuality, that's okay. Be a safe space for your child in this terrible world. Not the asshole. Let your daughter dress how she wants. Your wife is being controlling and ridiculous. Not the asshole. I used to buy from the boys section because the girls section just wasn't my style. It sounds like your daughter found normal clothes she liked and your wife is the only one with an issue here. Not the asshole. It's just clothes. If Lily feels more comfortable in less feminine outfits, let her be. Your wife needs to understand it. Not the asshole, but your wife sure is. She picked a surefire way to destroy her daughter's confidence while also destroying her trust in her mother. You are a good dad. Now go help Lily feel better about herself. Tell her that I am grown and still buy men's jeans because they last longer. Not the asshole. I am a 30-year-old woman and I shop in the boys and men's sections sometimes. Why? Sometimes they just have better clothes. Woman shrugging. Flannel for girls is pathetic, so I get men's flannels. Boys' athletic shirts are way cheaper and just as comfy. Men's jeans have real pockets. I love wearing dresses too, but when I want to be comfy or just go out day to day I often wear guys' stuff. It's silly to restrict what department you shop in.